We are in southern Spain right now, approximately 30 minutes north of Malaga, and we are testing the new Škoda Enyaq RSIV. The technical specifications of Enyaq RSIV and the coupe version are pretty much the same, but with this new model comes also new update of the software, ME3.2. With these new software updates, you can use the plug-in charge function, which means that you can start charging on public station without any card. You just take a cable, plug it in, and you are charging. During the presentation of the new Enyaq RSIV in Malaga, I talked with Jaromír Mendl, product marketing manager of Enyaq family, about the development of the new ME3 generation of software and its latest updates. Jaromír, welcome to Simply Clever podcast. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for your invitation. Glad to be there.
We're going to be talking about the new update of the car software ME3.2, but maybe we should start with the 3.0, the first update of this generation. Like how big change was it comparing to the previous version?
2.0, yeah, exactly. So the step to 3.0 was the biggest one. So I think this was something evolutionary, which brings the better battery management, for example, also improved charging battery. So the huge steps came with the 3.0. Yeah. That was the main thing, and one of the most important, which was really highlighted or demanded from our customers, were also over-the-air update, because we know that the update from 2.0 to 3.0 it's only way to do it directly by our partners on the dealer network. Yeah. And then afterwards, the changes from 3.0 to 3.1, 3.2, it's some kind of fine-tuning and just improving the current functionalities.
Yeah, so the big step was really like the thermal management of the battery, faster charging and so on, quite huge changes.
Exactly.
In technical point of view, these smaller updates are more like users friendly,
because somehow we collecting some comments from our customers, and we trying to bring them on live, and there's not, as I mentioned, the huge improvement. For example, from 3.0 to 3.1, it's, for example, improvement on the head-up display, on the arrows, on the direction for the customers. Also, you can see in the small IID display, which is in the front of the steering wheel, you see the driving data. What was really demanded from our customers was in the favorite list on the 13-inch screen, you can put the lane assist. So it means that you can turn it off or turn it on, and all the functionality is much easier for the customers to use it.
This feature came out of the let's say, feedback from the customers.
Exactly, that was a direct feedback from the customers from ME 2.0. So for the first customers, which was driving the car, we listened them. They wrote us on the social media. They gave us a feedback through the dealer network, and we try to do our best to bring the functionality to them.
This is something we should probably get used to, like that you can say your feedback, give the feedback to the car maker, and that there are some updates during the year,
which are
in some months,
functionalities and we hope that we are making the customers more happy with the car.
It's pretty much the same as with the smartphones.
Exactly.
Like,
so you get the notification. Some bugs are fixed. The stability of the system and everything will come afterwards. For example, also what we learned last winter, there was no limitation of the ESP, and sometimes the customers a little bit struggling in the snowy, on the slippery roads. And now with the 3.1, there is a functionality, the limitation of the ESP, and the car can handle much better in slippery conditions, for example.
Which is good for the customers, because even though they bought the Enyaq or some other IV in the future, you buy the car and in 3 years it's let's say outdated. Normally with these updates you can follow
Still
the trends,
expecting something new.
improving the car even though it's 3 years or 4 years old.
Exactly. To be honest, we are not expecting any huge changes, but these small things which making the using of the car much easier, that's something which we are bringing to them.
For me, as a non-technical person, two updates in few months, because the 3.0 was presented during spring. I know it was February or something like that. So it's like 10 months and two updates. For me, it's pretty fast development. Is it really?
Yeah, it's usually at the beginning. It's so because we brought something to the market, then we received a lot of feedbacks, and there was many changes. But we also expecting in the future that I think the maximum 2 updates per year will be also the number which we are expecting.
Yeah, so 1-2 updates per year probably.
Exactly.
As you mentioned, it happens over the air, so I get the notification in the car. Approve.
Exactly. You will see on the display that it's pop up some notification. You open it, then you will read the content of the actualization, and then afterwards you just agreed that you want to download it. You will step up the car, lock the car, and the car will be automatically updated.
Okay. So back to the update. What are the biggest changes in 3.1 and 3.2? Because for me, I have to say honestly that I probably haven't driven the 3.1 car, and I had the experience here with 3.2, and it was I would say smooth. You know, everything worked pretty well. Even the navigation notifications on the head-up display was really nice.
Exactly, the navigation, it's worked properly, so the whole searching system, it's cooperating with the charging station, better calculation of the route, which was not quite good in a ME 2.0 and also 3.0. The main highlight, for example, for 3.2 is plug and charge, so the more convenient charging for the customers with the connection of the power pass. And also, for example, if I'm charging the car, I not only see how many kilometers it's coming in the minutes, but I see the charging power. So I'm charging 135, 120. So there's many customers which I really like to see how the energy is running to the car, and
it's fun to watch and compare it. And I know people who are like really having the charts, like marking how fast they were charging and so on.
I also want to mention that some charging station, it's not directly connected with the car, but some charging station will tell you afterwards the charging curve, and you will see how was it, impact of the temperature, impact of the preheated car, on everything. It's quite fun.
So let's talk about plug and charge, because that's something we've already talked in the podcast earlier. But as something which will come, and now we can do it here in Spain. We tried it here on Ionity station. For me as a customer, it's really useful. You know, I don't have to have the car with me. Sometimes when you're using the station, the charging station, you don't know the different kind, different type. You are a little bit struggling, like what I have to do first, if I plug the car or push some button or whatever.
Exactly.
So this is really much easier.
This is something completely new which we are bringing with the new software 3.1, 3.2. It's more convenient for our customers. And what does it mean? That the car is ready. Or how can I say? If you have a power pass card, so the contract with the Skoda, you just connect with the car. Somehow agreed, the car will be afterwards working like a payment terminal, and you will come with a charging station which is compatible with that function. Because honestly, it's not all charging stations which are available by this functionality. For example, in Czech Republic, it's not so often. For example, in Germany, it's more and more, and also the northern countries. But what does it mean? You just drive the car, you come to the charging station, plug the cable. You don't need to agree with the phone, with the card. The service and the authorization will be done by itself, and it will start automatically the charging. So you just lock the door, you can go for a coffee, and the car will be charging.
And for you as a user, you just need to somehow connect your credit card with the Power Pass and Power Pass with the car.
Something like the same process. If you have a MasterCard or your payment card, just connect with your watches, make the first step, the authorization, and afterwards you have everything saved in your watches. The same with the car, and you don't need to take care of it. If you need to push the button, take the car, plug the cable, and everything is automatic.
And it's useful not only for me as a driver, but when it's a family car, I don't have to, give the card to my wife or whatever.
If you have the card in the wallet, so you don't care, just your wife borrow the car, will go far away, or your children's, and just plug the cable, and you on the end of the month you will see what was it. And
probably even when it's a company car, it's quite easy to connect it. Like you have some data, who was driving on what day, who was
exactly
charging.
What was a private, what was a business drive. Yeah.
Okay, so that's very useful.
That's very useful, exactly. So nice.
Okay, Jaromír, thank you very much for the interview. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome, and thanks for the invitation again.
We were talking about the plug-in charge function, which is super easy. You don't have to use the car to authenticate the charging, just plug it and charge the car. How does it work with home charging?
So with home charging, you have two options. If you have a wall box on your garden or in your garage, then you can just plug the wall box in and it will start charging automatically. If you have the wall box in, for example, shared garage or somewhere you don't want others to be charging from your wall box, you still have to keep the card or use app to start the charging to show the wall box that it's really you. The plug-in charge, however, will come in the future for home charging as well, for the reason of the shared garages and places like that.
The car will be able to do this plug-in charge function, and is there something you need to do with the wall boxes, or is it already ready for this function?
The wall box is not ready, the car is. It's the matter of the new software and the new communication protocols between the car and the wall boxes.
And if you don't want to buy a wall box, you can get this portable charging cable.
Exactly. The cable is capable of charging from normal socket 230 volts or the industry socket, which is 3-phase 400 volts. And it's very useful if you travel a lot and you go to a camp where there is no charging station, or you have a garden somewhere and you want to charge a few kilometers there every now and then without installing wall box. This is the best solution for you.
Yeah, you just change the adapter basically.
Exactly. You can change the socket on the cable on the plug side, so you can have one for 230 volts and the other one for the 3-phase, and you just switch them based on your needs.
That was the last episode of this year. On behalf of the whole production team of Simply Clever Podcast, I'd like to thank you for your listening. We'll hear from each other again in January. If you'd like to revisit some of the previous episodes, you'll find them on simplycleverpodcast.com or in your favorite podcast app. I wish you Merry Christmas, same as lots of safe kilometers in the year 2023.